Hi Libra, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net, and I'm here to do your January 2017 monthly tarot reading. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm using the Mystic Dreamer Tarot today, and I'm going to do a modified Celtic Cross to just get an idea of some of the energies going on for the month of January. Hope everyone had a nice holiday. I probably will be posting this before the holidays, but if you're watching it in January, I hope you had a nice holiday season. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck is the Hermit card, and the Hermit card appears when you're going within and really contemplating, and it's a very, very philosophical card, but it's an internal process of self-centered, in the sense that you're really trying to figure out what your beliefs are, where you stand in the world, what is and is not important to you, what is ethical to you, what you want to stand for, what you believe in. So you sort of take all the teachings and everything that you've learned throughout your life and really figure out what your inner guidance is, what you stand for, how you want to function in this world, and what is truly important to you, and what your beliefs are. Even if you were brought up, say, in an organized religion, it may be the Hermit energy is a time where you think, well, this part isn't maybe working for me anymore, or I really get that part now even more, and it's now more important to me than it ever had been. So it's not it can kind of go either way. It's just or maybe organized religion really doesn't make sense for me, but meditation really does, and whatever it is for you personally, that's the type of deep thoughts and inner exploration that this card brings about. So really doing the inner work. So it's a really nice card. It's a really positive card, and a really a card of growth, of inner growth, of really figuring things out and putting things in perspective, and gaining a lot of inner wisdom that will serve you very well going forward. So the card this card had been in focus recently. So the Four of Pentacles is a card about boundaries. And you can see in most of the tarot decks, they show someone holding very tightly onto their material possessions. Really, it could be hoarding, but just like really holding on tight and not wanting to let go. And maybe putting more importance on material things than is necessary. So with the Hermit card, it's kind of like, what is truly, I'm just taking a look at this card. It's a little dark in here, sorry. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's snowing, rainy out. So it's kind of like she's holding, you can just sort of see she's just holding on, but she's not happy. But she's clinging to that. So were you clinging to something? Were you trying to hold on too tight? It's a card about your priorities maybe being a little out of whack as well. Worrying more about material things than the relationships in your life. Now, another side of this card, which I think is very positive, though, is that it's really a card about boundaries. And what type of boundaries? Do you put boundaries around your money? Do you put boundaries around your relationships? Do you put boundaries around your personal well-being? Do you put boundaries around your free time? Your family? What truly are your priorities? And you can take a look at that by really looking at what you spend your time about, what triggers you, what do you really hold on tightly to, what do you set up very clear boundaries in, and where are areas that you don't have enough boundaries. Maybe you are not good enough about saving your money. Maybe you allow people to control and walk all over you. Maybe you put your family first, which is wonderful, but to the point where you don't have any free time yourself. Or maybe you work all the time. This is that hermit energy, really thinking about those types of issues. So, having been in the near past, this card tells me that those themes were on your mind. This often comes up in relationships because relationships is all about communication and setting boundaries and sharing tangible assets and your time, what you believe in, your spirituality. Do you have the same beliefs? How you treat each other. So it's really a dance of boundaries sometimes and communication. And so I think that dynamic that was I just described between the inner thoughts of the hermit, like what is important to you, and the concept of boundaries and your priorities, you really realize you need to make a decision. What is truly important to you? What are you truly passionate about? Where do you want to put your time and energy? What are you inspired of? What inspires you? What are you motivated about? What do you want to manifest? And it's really about where you want to put your energy and what is fruitful and beneficial and what is a waste of energy, and just that this is that energy vampire, like who's sucking your energy. So really making some clear-cut decisions about type of that type of thing, where you're putting your energy, where it's going out, who's taking it, is it benefiting you or not, things like that. Now you're crossed by the Knight of Cups. So this is a change in emotions. So this card comes along and says, hey, I'm offering you potentially a new emotional beginning, a new emotional way of being. So someone's either you're extending this to someone else is extending this to you, but it's definitely a card where you could, if you're you could have a new love interest come into your life, a new friendship, a new partnership that's emotionally uh, beneficial. Someone's extending themselves to you. Now, keep in mind the boundaries now that you've learned from past experiences. And it doesn't mean the first time you meet someone you go, I will not allow you to do this, and this is my dim. Yeah, no, of course not. But keep that in mind, and look for areas where you start to either have too strict of boundaries that you can't let someone in, or too weak that you're falling back maybe into a similar pattern. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be the only thing in mind, but I think you're going to be doing better this time because of all that inner hermit work you've done as new situations present themselves to you. This is a very positive card. And for some of you, it is requiring some sort of choice. I mean, maybe you've been in a relationship that really hasn't been working out, or a job that you're like, it's comfortable because you've been in it for so long, but it's like, it's not really doing it for you. And then this offer comes along and you need to make a decision. And that's really thought provoking. And you really need to go within and figure out what you want. And what you want most is the Empress. This is a card about nurturing, allowing things to develop organically and not forcing things. It's just allowing things to develop as they develop. So that's kind of, I think, what your approach is going to be moving forward. It's having the Hermit, all that inner work you've done guiding you, and then just gently allowing things to unfold, not hanging on too tightly, not trying to like desperately make something work, but it's like, hey, you know what, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If someone wants to go, let them go. You can't force things to work out. You just have to do what you can and try to nurture yourself and the situation as much as possible, but you're going to allow it to come and go if it needs to, and not be hanging on. And then coming up in the near future is the Seven of Pentacles. And this is a card that it works really well with the Empress, because it's all about that things are a process and you need to go through a process often. There's no forcing it. There's no there's no control here. I mean, control is sort of an interesting concept in and of itself. I mean, the only thing we can truly control is ourselves and our actions, and we spend a lot of time as human beings trying to control other people or control things that we really don't. It's a construct in our mind. It's a mental farce that we can control a lot of the things. So we need to focus on the things we actually can control and then allow the other things to happen in due time. And it's good to remind yourselves of that. You never know what a relationship is going to be like until you're in it and living it. Same with a job, same with your children, same with a business. You can make plans and stay on task and keep doing the things that you can do, but you can't always force. And when you start trying to force, I don't like being forced. There's a recoil that happens. So really channel that Empress energy and allow things to unfold, and don't try to control things you can't control. It's like another codependent theme. So let's look at the overall cards here. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. Wow. I feel like this is really this Hermit energy. What is your happily ever after? What is your wish card? And really pondering that, because happily ever after is, again, it's not real. Happiness is real. It comes from within, but it's something that's always being cultivated and worked and nurtured, right? It's not like, whoops, it's a mirror image in the computer and I get confused. It's not a destination that once you're there, oh, I'm happy. Oh, I got that house I always wanted. I'm happy. I got the relationship I always wanted. Now I'm perfectly happy. I'm going to be happy forever. Everything's awesome. Oh, I have the perfect, whatever. That's not reality. But you can keep nurturing and striving to be happy and accepting of what you do have, and not always chasing after a fantasy. And this card is also, be careful. It's not, I don't want to say be careful what you wish for, because that makes it negative. They're both extremely positive cards. If you're too idealistic about them, then you miss that your wishes are coming true all the time. Just because they don't look exactly like what you wanted them to look like doesn't mean, here you're being offered something, you're being offered a wish coming true in some area right there. Allow it to be organic, allow it to be what it is, and don't think, oh, well, I wanted, this car or this relationship, perfect person, or that, you got to let that go. But if the universe brings in a person that's kind and loving, even if maybe they're bald, maybe you don't like bald guys, or maybe you like girls who, I don't know, whatever. Don't get stuck on the superficial and miss the wish, the beauty that's being offered to you. And if you can see that, and I know you can, because Libras are freaking awesome, you have some real beautiful things coming to you in January. So we'll just leave it there. This is an awesome reading. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.